So you're ready to sell your home in California or perhaps in the Northeast and move to an affordable city but not sure where to go? Take a look at this video and I will show you 14 of the most affordable and fun cities to live in the United States. But first, make sure you hit that like button and click that subscribe button. We appreciate it. All right, our first stop today is Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia is the state capital of South Carolina and sits pretty much smack dab in the middle of the state. Population of Columbia is 134,000 residents, with an annual income of approximately $42,000 per year. A lot of Northerners like to come down to South Carolina. However, Columbia has managed to avoid the skyrocketing housing prices that often go with the influx of new residents. The median home price in Columbia is about $160,000, which means if you're selling your $1 million two-bedroom pad in LA, you can buy yourself a really nice house here in Columbia. You can get one of these homes for about $300,000. Actually, this one goes for $269,000. Pretty nice, right? Columbia is one of the most educated cities in the South, home to the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks! Because Columbia is a college town, you'll find that it is very vibrant with over 500 restaurants, a greenway running through town, a brand spanking new baseball stadium, and also Lake Murray nearby. As you can see, Columbia, South Carolina is definitely an amazing place to live and also very affordable. Stop number 2, Cincinnati, Ohio. Sitting in the southern portion of Ohio, right across the river from Kentucky, Cincinnati has a population of 300,000 people. And I know, I can hear you already saying, but Patrick, you want me to move to Cincinnati? Well, just listen for a second. The median home price in Cincinnati is $146,000, and some people say it's the prettiest city in all of Ohio. I've only been to the airport, so I can't really vouch for that, but I'll take it for their word. Just looking at the pictures here, it looks pretty darn nice. Cincinnati was once a major American metropolis riding high on heavy industry and transportation. And while its economy has lost some stature, the world-class museums, arts, and sports developed during its heyday are still here. The University of Cincinnati sits right in the middle of the city. Go Bearcats! And Kings Island and its stomach-dropping roller coasters are just a short drive away. One of the things that Cincinnati is most famous for is its chili. According to the Smithsonian, it is one of the 20 most iconic foods in all of the United States. And lastly, let's talk real estate. You can get this house for $150,000. Pretty nice porch. Or you can spend $300,000 for this house. Looks pretty nice. Look at all that yard you get. Pretty cool back deck. Even more yard. Not too bad. Stop number 3 is Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham has a population of about 215,000 people, and it sits 150 miles west of Atlanta, Georgia. Alabama's biggest city is an affordable and vastly underappreciated place to live. A strong alternative to traffic-clogged Atlanta not too far away. Here you can take a kayak down the Cahaba River, a body of water with more species of marine life than all of California's waterways combined, right through the middle of downtown. Birmingham is also one of America's most underrated food cities. After kayaking down the river, stop at Frank Stitt's Highlands Bar and Grill. It's one of the city's signature restaurant locations. Or you can find barbecue restaurants all around the city. Saw's Soul Kitchen is one of the more famous barbecue spots in town. Birmingham is also home to the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, which depicts the struggles of the civil rights movement in the 1950s and the 1960s. Lastly, let's take a look at how affordable the homes are here. This one goes for $167,000. If that one doesn't suit you, how about this one for $240,000? So for basically the price of a high-end Mercedes, you could live in a pretty nice house here in Birmingham. Stop number 4, we head to Ogden, Utah. Population 87,000 people. Ogden sits north of Salt Lake City and is one of the smallest towns on our list today. Although getting more expensive, Ogden is still surprisingly inexpensive and a great place to live. Although the nightlife isn't exactly raging, it's a clean, cheap, low crime, and affordable area that's regularly called out as one of the best places in America to raise a family. Forbes recently ranked it third in that department, as well as calling it the ninth best city to retire in. For affordable outdoors, Ogden is also tough to beat with access to hiking trails, rock climbing, mountain biking. Ogden is home to Weber State University, Go Wildcats, and the people in Ogden really care about their community, as the city has one of the highest volunteer rates in the nation. Real estate in Ogden is a little bit more expensive than some of the other towns we've looked at so far, but the median home price comes in at $186,000. Let's take a look at what that'll get you. I found this cute little house in Ogden for $255,000. There's also a lot of new construction homes in Ogden. I found this one for $345,000. It doesn't come with grass, but I know you're saying, hey, Patrick, $345,000 is a lot of money, and this is supposed to be a home about affordable places. Well, keep in mind, $345,000 in cities like Denver, San Francisco, San Diego will buy you a studio, maybe one bedroom if you're lucky. Stop number 5 on our affordable home tour is Boise, Idaho. Boise has a population of 206,000 people with a median home price of $207,000. Boise is that mountain outpost of hiking, biking, and breweries that one dreams of like Boulder or Denver, but at a fraction of the cost. No, it doesn't have that other thing people go to Colorado for, which is of course the Denver Broncos. However, Boise does have the Boise State University, which is called the Broncos. So not quite the same thing as the Denver Broncos, but let's be honest, the Boise State Broncos are a perennial top 25 football team, which isn't too shabby. Boise has become one of the more trendy places on our list. It's within a close driving range of Sun Valley, Coeur d'Alene, and many, many miles of hiking and biking trails. Because of all of these things, home prices have gotten a little bit more expensive here, but you can still get a nice house for under $300,000 like this one. Or if you're willing to spend a little bit more, this one goes for $365,000. And again, just for a little perspective, for $385,000 you can get this 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 706 square foot home in San Diego. Tough call, I know. Stop number 6, Tampa, Florida. I know what you're saying. Hey Patrick, we can't afford to live in Tampa. All those houses are worth millions along the beach. Well, and you're right, there are some expensive areas of Tampa. However, for the most part, you can live pretty nice in Tampa if you're willing to live 30 to 45 minutes inland. Tampa has a population of 3 million people, and the median home price is only $207,000. The Tampa Bay area, defined as Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, and the beach cities that go with them, represents the Florida ideal, minus the insane price tag. The economy is strong. The beaches are routinely rated among the top in the country, whether you want to kick back beers at the Undertow Beach Bar in St. Pete Beach, or experience isolated nature at Fort DeSoto Park. In addition to the post-college nightlife in Tampa's Soho neighborhood, you have cocktail lounges and breweries across the bay in St. Pete, one of the most underrated drinking cities in America. If you've always dreamed of owning a house with one of those indoor-outdoor patios, and complain bragging with your neighbors about the cost of maintaining a pool, well, Tampa is just the place to do it. Tampa is also home to the University of South Florida and the University of Tampa and many others. Here's one house you can pick up for $305,000 and another one at $269,000. Oh, and this one's on a golf course. Really sweet. Tampa, it's a great place to be. Stop 7 on our inexpensive places to live is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga has a population of 178,000 people and a median home price of only $167,000. There's a reason it's on the short list of hot cities to live in right now. Chattanooga is the top-ranked city in America and 6th in the world for internet connectivity. So if you're part of the new young mobile workforce, it's hard to find a better deal than Gig City. With a median income under $20,000, things are super cheap. And if you make a tech salary or run your own business, your dollar goes a long way. Smart Asset found the cost of running a startup here to be half of what it is in Silicon Valley. But it's not all work and no play. This city at the base of the Appalachian Mountains has an abundance of hiking, biking, and rock climbing. With the opening of the Chattanooga Choo Choo Entertainment Complex, the cultural scene is competing with Tennessee's other bright lights in Memphis and Nashville. For a couple examples, this house you can get for right at $200,000. And this property here is going for $250,000, which really shows you how inexpensive Chattanooga is compared to much of the rest of the country. Stop number 8, Buffalo, New York. Buffalo has a population of 257,000 people and a median home price of $145,000. Among cities with at least one professional sport, Buffalo boasts the highest affordability index. And while your knee-jerk reaction might be, yeah, but come on, Patrick, it's Buffalo. You just need to dig a little deeper and you'll see this city has taken the old and turned it into new and appealing. Buffalo was the richest city in America at the turn of the 20th century, so it's rife with historical sites like Frank Lloyd Wright's Martin House Complex and the Colored Musicians Club, a tribute to the jazz culture that once permeated the streets. The city is also finding ways to repurpose historic buildings. If you can just repeat the mantra, there's no bad weather, only bad clothes, Buffalo might just surprise you. Here's a couple examples of homes you can get in the $150,000 to $200,000 range. You can see they have some character and even colorful. I could call that home. Stop number 9, Tulsa, Oklahoma. With a population of 403,000 people, the median home price is about $160,000. Tulsa is a town with a ton of cash and not that much to spend it on. So it has built all sorts of big city amenities like new stadiums, arenas, and performing arts centers. What that means is you can take in an afternoon at the Philbrook or Gilchrist museums, then hit the ballet, opera, or symphony, and you won't be fighting crowds or paying high ticket prices. For younger people, Forbes named Tulsa the top city in the country for young entrepreneurs, and WalletHub named it the 10th best city to start a career. Because with 2 universities, creative people moving in, and cheap housing, Tulsa is a place where someone right out of college can actually afford to build a life. Here's an example of a home you can have for under $250,000. Or if you want a lot of square footage, this one's only $269,000. Tulsa doesn't look too bad. Our final stop is Fayetteville, Arkansas, the smallest town on our list with only 84,000 residents. It has a median home price of just under $190,000. Northwest Arkansas thrives on an unlikely mashup of amenities. It has low unemployment thanks to some huge employers like Walmart, and the state's flagship university, the University of Arkansas, and the big-time sports that come with it. It also has mild winters, tolerable summers, a vibe equally friendly to mountain biking hippies and corporate retail types, and solid public schools. And Fayetteville has low crime, a nationally recognized bike trail system, a thriving food and beer culture, and the nation's newest major airport. As the secret has gotten out, U.S. News & World Report named Fayetteville the number 4 place in America to live. Since then, housing prices have risen a bit, but they're still low enough to call this area one of the country's great overall bargains. We found this really sweet house here for only $205,000. That's peanuts. Found this house for $259,000. Also not too shabby. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found your next amazing place to live in one of these affordable cities. Take care.